Is this thing on? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hi, hello, welcome back to another YouTube video. Sorry, I'm gonna sound like a robot or just not natural because I haven't sat down and recorded a video like this for, well, since the February video. I am gonna try something here. Sorry, yeah, shamelessly plugging myself. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here. I'm trying to get to 100 followers by June the 23rd, which is my birthday. I don't know what the title is because I don't know what this video is going to be. I don't know if I'm doing recaps anymore. I don't know if I'm doing like a monthly favourite video. This video is not scripted. I don't script any of my videos partially. I have themes, like I have pinpoints that I want to talk about, but this video, I'm completely 1000% just winging it, guys. It's 9:25 at night. I've just realised you can see my dinner there. I've just come from doing the house up with my dad for a few hours. Honorary mention, I can't remember, guys. It's been, like I said, it's been so long since I did my February recap video that I can't remember if this book was, like, I'm sure it was in the video. Creepy forest kind of vibes. I looked at my Goodreads to see what I read this month. Spoiler alert, it was barely anything. Technically it wasn't this exact edition that I read. One of my favourite books so far is this, The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. This book is absolutely beautiful. It's a Evernight exclusive edition, and it says, I twisted myself around like the twisted ones. This was a gift from a friend, and spoiler alert, it wasn't the only thing. There's another one. You're joking. Another one? And I'll show you that in a minute. I mean, I'm not doing a very good job at showing you. It's just so beautiful. Like, look at that. Look at it. Look at the inner part. Guys, I'm doing such a bad job at this. Like, I do apologise. Look at it. The Hollow Places, also by T. Kingfisher. I can't read it. If there's a way into hell, somebody will find it, and that is also an Evernight exclusive. Look at the page edges and stuff. I'm not going to take the dust sheet off because it's just look at it, guys. It's a masterpiece. They're both a masterpiece. Just look how pretty they are. Guys, I don't normally like showing off. I don't normally have things to show off about, but these two books here are now, like, I know people will say they're just books. They aren't just books to me, guys. These are like one of my prized possessions that I own now. Thank you to my friend. That's my little show off at the beginning of the video. We'll actually get to it. I'm just trying to build some, like, guys, I'm trying to figure out a new way of making my videos seem interesting, because when I was editing one the other day, I didn't realize how boring I was. So yeah, I'm trying to build the tension a little bit. This is what I'm currently reading. I'm reading 6 stories by Matt Wesolowski. I'm not going to try and butcher it, I do apologise. I've not got far into it yet, I'm only on page 12. But no, this was also borrowed, this is on lend, by the same friend that gave me those 2 books that I just showed you. Oh, it's got a naughty word on, cut that. Oh, but I can't show you my fingernails either because they're gross. That, I've read 3 books this month, guys. I have been so busy with the house. Probably say that we're about 40% through now. Like, we're very nearly halfway. Like, the biggest bedrooms that we're not the biggest rooms that we're not going to focus on till last off are probably 50% done. And then the 2 biggest rooms that are a problem at the minute, the bathroom and the kitchen. The kitchen we've kind of, I'm just going to shut up. This video will contain not major spoilers of like the whole kind of plot, but this will contain like small amounts of spoilers on the books that I am talking about. So the first book that I read from in March was a book called More Than This by Patrick Ness, and as you can see, it's quite a thick book, and in fact I'll tell you exactly how many pages it's got. I can definitely tell you now that I'm gonna surpass my pages read on Goodreads for this year. I'm halfway already. Like, I'm on 4,000 something pages read. I only just read just under 10,000 pages last year, so I'm halfway and I'm only 3 months in, well, nearly 4 months. 480 pages, so it's kind of close to, well, it's not close, but the book that shall not be named had 700 and something. I'll tell you what it says on the back, basically. The boy drowns, desperate and alone in his final moments, he unalives. Then he wakes, naked, bruised and thirsty, but alive. How can this be? And what is this strange, deserted place? As he struggles to understand what is happening, the boy dares to hope. Might this not be the end? Might there be more to this life, or perhaps this afterlife? This is going to be cut into the beginning, I do apologise. So I've realised that trying to describe books in detail without spoilers so people can watch the videos without reading, like who haven't read the books, I struggle to talk about the books, so I'm just going to put it out there that any more book videos, I'm obviously going to contain minor spoilers, but I will avoid any major spoilers. So Seth unalives at the beginning of the book, and he's from England, and he moved, this is crucial to the plot, he moves to America, and when he wakes up after unaliving himself in America, he's in England, in the house that it was in before he moved to America. This was written so well. I had this on my Goodreads for quite a while. I was excited to read this, and I really enjoyed it. It was so gripping. Like, it had my attention 24/7. There was never a point in this book where I'm like, oh, it's losing my attention a little bit, or it's getting a bit boring. I was basically a fish swaying in air, hooked by the mouth, just like flailing because I'm like, I need more. And I do remember I text my friend, not to mention the major spoiler, but about the major spoiler halfway through, I did text my friend saying like, I hate this book, I really don't like it. And then I carried on, and I'm glad that I did, because although I didn't like the major twist, I'm glad that I carried on reading it because I enjoyed the rest of the book. Like, I think I might have given this a 5 out of 5, I can't remember. But once I knew the twist, I was like, well, I know the book now. But it was still interesting after that twist, because normally, if a book kind of gives you a twist like towards the end of the book, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm never doing that again. Normally, like, they kind of hold out on the twist till the end, because once you know the twist, like, it might ruin the rest of the experience. And in this case, I thought it would, because it was only halfway through, but it didn't. It kind of expanded more on it, and that's the part that I enjoyed more. I think this would be great for anybody. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a young adult book. It is written very grown up in a sense. Some of the main topics are unaliving, afterlife, finding kind of happiness or meaning in life that you've led before you unalived, in a sense. It's kind of very thought-provoking. After I read this, I was like, wait, what? I was questioning things a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed, it's slightly 3D, because there you go. When you open the front cover, there's a window. After I read more than this, I needed more pain, apparently, because that was also slightly painful, just to point out. The second of the 3 books that I read this month was Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. This ruined me. I have not had, well, I'm currently also on another book hangover from the last book, which I'll tell you about obviously after this one. The only few times that I have had a book hangover are from Aristotle and Dante, the first to Unalive at the end, The Midnight Library. This book depressed me for so many days after I finished reading it. Just to obviously mention what's on the back, no one would want a heart like his, but he had still cut it out and given it away. When Andrew returns to boarding school, he can't wait to find refuge in the twisted fairy tales he writes for Thomas, the boy with hair like autumn leaves. But Thomas's parents have vanished, and he has blood on his sleeve. Stranger still, Thomas won't talk to Andrew, even though he's always loved sketching the monstrous creatures from Andrew's stories. Desperate to uncover the truth, Andrew follows Thomas into the forest and catches him fighting a nightmarish monster. His drawings have come to life. The boys must battle the creatures every night, but as their obsession with each other grows stronger, so do the monsters, and Andrew fears the only way to stop them might be to destroy the creator. I literally had to go on Reddit. This was the kind of book where the ending, also just look at the artwork on it. It's amazing. I mean, there's no internal, oh no, there is internal artwork. So I'm going to give you one spoiler alert now. There is drawings in this book, not drawings, but like there's artwork, and I think there's only about 3 or 4 of them. I'll show you one now. Before I show you that, there's a difference where there's obviously your normal pages on the right, and then the pages on the left, the normal pages on the left, and the page on the right, the one that's black with the right writing, they're some of the stories that, I can't remember, I think it was Andrew wrote, and then the monsters that Thomas draws that come alive are on the left side, so you've got some, you've got some, why is that not like depth perception? Why can't I get that? There we go. you'll get some like drawings. I think there's only about 4 or 5. I love this book. I literally had to go on Reddit to figure out the ending because I read it so quick. Like not the whole book. I mean, but I read the ending part. But I was so confused with the ending. I'm like, wait, did that just happen? It kind of left it in ambiguous. There we go. It kind of left it in an ambiguous kind of ending of like you can make the ending how you want it in a sense. It touches on obviously unaliving. It touches on young love because it is young adult and it is LGBT. I also want to point out, guys, I've never had this happen in the book before. Spoiler alert. One of the main, because obviously the 2 main characters are Andrew and Thomas. Andrew. Also, just want to point out, he is from Australia, so I had a weird time reading this book because I try and I read characters obviously with a British accent in my head because I'm British. I can't do an American accent, but the second I found out that Andrew and his sister are Australian, any parts that had Andrew in it, I was trying to read in my head with an Australian accent, and it kind of elevated the peak kind of reading experience for this book for me. I think this is a 5. In fact, no, there was I remember now, these were all 5-star books. So this was a 5 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it to my friend tomorrow because I think they'll love it as well. But no, I just think it was neat.
I just think they're neat.
The last but not least, I was saving this book for when I was in a book slump or when I've had such bad luck with books, like where I've had like really bad star books. Coming from a 5-star book, I think the Twisted Ones was also a 5-star. Another 5-star book. Another 5-star book. Can you see where I'm going with this? I thought, you know what, actually, whilst I'm on such a high, because I don't know if you noticed, at the beginning of the year, January was so bad because I had like 1 5-star, I think, and then February wasn't like the best. This month so far has been the best for good books that I've read throughout this year so far. So I read this. And it's The Brightness Between Us by Elliot Schurfer. I can't pronounce that again. 441. I'm angry. This is also a 5 out of 5. This is a sequel. First one's here. Darkness Outside Us. So let me put this over here. And as you can see, there is an addition of children. 17 years have gone by since the coordinated endeavour crashed on a distant exoplanet. Ambrose Cusk and Kodiak Celius are now devoted parents of 2 teenage children, Owl and Yarrow, in a hardscrabble frontier home. Though life on Minerva is full of danger, the family's bond is enough to make it all worth it, until they learn that the biggest threat to their survival might come from within. More than 30,000 years in the past, Ambrose wakes on Earth to find out his mission to save his sister was a ruse. His mother betrayed him, and the cruelty of her true plans sets Ambrose spiraling. When he discovers that another spacefarer is suffering his same fate, he will have to decide whether to risk crossing a world at war to reach him. Separated by time and space, a young family and 2 strangers learn that their lives are intimately intertwined. I swear I can read. They race to uncover the unexpected connections that might save them all, and perhaps humanity as well. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this trumps all the books that I've read so far. This is number 1 at the minute. Everything's always kind of been like floating in between like the top 10. This has taken the spot for now. This is number 1. This is by far easily the best book I think I've ever read in my entire life. I'd say it's nice that they introduced like extra characters. The thing that got me mad about this book, like I still love it. I got mad that the fact that before I read it, obviously I read the bit that I've just read to you, where it says about the time and space. Separated by time and space, a young family and 2 strangers learn that their lives are intimately intertwined. I thought this was going to basically be like a back and forth of connecting the Ambrose and Kodiak with the 2 children in the 30,000 year future to the Ambrose and Kodiak that's in the past, like of 2,500 and whatever year it is. I thought it'd be like a back and forth, and it wasn't. It was kind of more a sense of there was one thing that happened, spoiler alert, there's one thing that happened in the present, like the past, but like the present day, not the future, that kind of helped the future, like the 30,000 year future family. But like I was literally on the edge of my seat reading this the entire time. Like there was so many like sweet moments in it. There was like things that happened, and there was like a couple of parts that I questioned. I was like, wait, why are they doing that? That doesn't like make sense, but then it kind of did later on. But no, this is my favourite book so far. I think that is it. I don't really have much more to talk about this. The ending. So obviously that's part of the major spoiler, so I'm not going to tell you about it, but it leaves it open for a third book, and it's the kind of book duo where you like, you know full well it's not going to get a third book. I would love a third book. I would love like a grown up, because obviously as you can see there's two kids. It's Yarrow and Owl, and one's 50. I think it's Owl. Yeah, it was. Owl's 15, Yarrow's 16. I would love to see like a 50 years in the future of like what's happening with Ambrose and Kodiak. Like how are they as OAPs and everything, and like how are Yarrow, like how are the kids doing, kind of thing. Or they've grown up, and how are things progress? Like, because obviously they've crashed into this planet, and this planet is, I'm not going to spoil it, there's no more humans on it. They've got a spaceship full of babies. I would love to know what happens in 50 years, like if they've managed to keep the human race alive. Oh, I just realised I'm going to have to make a thumbnail. Guys, this is going to be cringe. Ignore this. This is going to be the thumbnail that you've seen for the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, trying to hit 100 subscribers by June. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, which will no doubt be a house renovation episode. Bye. Bye. I have to be quiet because I've got a new neighbour. Bye.